Alright, so the 2014 midterms were a big win for the Republicans and the GOP and the conservatives and that whole group, the Christians, the religious zealots in this country. You know, whatever. In my personal opinion, the Democrats blow, and so they're not going to get the same kind of base to go out there and vote for them. But we are guaranteed quite a bit of material for the next few years, so why don't we get started on some of this, some of the tips some of our congressmen and senators were giving to their voters. What do you think about Christians voting, Senator Ted Cruz?
It is not only critically important, but it is a scriptural command. There are roughly 90 million self-described evangelical Christians in the United States. Of those 90 million, only 50% are registered to vote. Of those, about half are showing up and voting.
And half of those probably uninformed.
I'd venture to guess it's more like 100% of voting evangelical Christians are uninformed because they believe crazy shit. The same kind of people that think the Republicans have, like, America's best interests at heart and shit. Yeah, you're gullible dumbasses. There's a good chance you're uninformed, no matter what the fuck you're voting on.
And that means nearly 70 million evangelical Christians have been staying home. Now look, if people of faith stay home, is it any wonder we have the government we have today?
I mean, what the fuck are you expecting to happen? Like a bunch of Christians come out and vote and turn America into some kind of Christian theocracy? Is that what gives you a little, like, it gives you a nice Jesus boner? Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Oh, if more evangelical Christians would just vote, imagine how awesome everything would be. You guys have fucked shit up for long enough. Please, no more.
No one bears more responsibility for where this country is than pastors. That if the flock stumbles into the ditch, you don't blame the sheep. You blame the shepherd.
So wait a second. You're saying if the sheep stumble into a ditch, you don't blame the sheep, you blame the shepherd, right? But wouldn't God be like the shepherd and we're the sheep, right? So if we stumble into a ditch, you're not supposed to blame us, you're supposed to blame God. That's exactly the argument you just fucking gave. The exact fucking argument. But if I gave it back to you in those terms, you would reject that argument. It's no longer good if I just switch a little detail around. That's what we call a bullshit argument. If all you have to do is change one little detail and your whole argument, you would go against it, that's called a shit argument. Get the fuck out of here with your stupid bullshit. I cannot believe people like this get elected over and over. No, I totally can believe it because people are fucking retarded. It seems to be this growing trend of just complete idiots everywhere.
And the Word commands us to be salt and light. And you can't be salt unless you are in contact with what you're there to preserve. You can't be light if you're hidden under a bushel. And I think far too many people of faith have said, you know what, politics is a dirty business. I don't need to worry myself about it. And can you imagine how different our country would be if an additional 70 million evangelical Christians simply showed up and voted biblical values?
Well, let's keep in mind that if these evangelicals actually voted biblical values and not just the bullshit the Republicans like you are selling them, the actual biblical values are things like Jesus would teach, right? Like taking care of the poor, right? And not judging others lest ye judge yourself. Things that current modern conservatives are totally against. If you were to vote biblically, you would obviously tax the shit out of a rich person to help the poor people. That's what a biblically voting person would do if you actually care about the teachings of Jesus and shit. I mean, there's Bible quotes to support pretty much any fucking position. It's just all over the fucking place. But if you follow Jesus' teachings, they follow the line of like doing good unto your fellow man and helping people in need out and shit like that, which the conservatives are totally fucking against. I mean, you take like one unemployment check, they're like, you lazy motherfucker. Like, they just don't give a shit. They're total pieces of trash. And then this motherfucker goes around and tells them to go vote biblically, which is just fucking a dog whistle for like, go vote with anyone with an R next to their name. Because Republicans love the Bible. Because that's what we just keep saying, and you're dumb enough to fucking believe it. Because you're too dumb to put that the Bible is against fucking rich people. Or Jesus is, at least, in the Bible. Your God. And then Republicans are totally in support of fucking rich people. They do nothing but defend them. You know, politicians being rich themselves and then promoting the Bible, they're not going to get to heaven. Or so says the Bible that they promote. And then totally fucking ignore while they live their lives and ask people to vote biblically. All right, who's next? Let's see what happens when they win, because they had a great midterm here in 2014. So if they win and people come out to vote, what do they say about it then?
Let's go to Steve in Point Blank, Texas. Steve, welcome to Focal Point. What's on your mind?
Hello, Brian.
Hey.
First of all, I'd like to say that I listened into the rally in Houston Sunday, and that was really good.
That was good, wasn't it? That was just great.
It was. There was some very powerful speakers there. And
you know, in fact, Steve, let me interject this. You know, it occurred to me last night, you know, a good part of Sunday night was a lot of these pastors in Houston and a lot of people all around the country kneeling in prayer on the floor of that auditorium, repenting of sins, seeking God for forgiveness for ourselves and for this land. And then Tuesday, we have this dramatic victory. I got to believe there's a connection there.
So Bryan Fischer thinks that prayer is how democracy works. If you pray, one person gets more votes than the other. Because prayer is what adds to the vote numbers. It's not fucking voting. What a complete fucking moron. Go get the fuck out of here. Until next time, Coctopus out.